So lately, we've noticed a lot of different solopreneurs that we're running into online talking about how lonely it can be to be
Mhm.
the only person in your business. And we see by working with our different clients that some people really have an affinity to naturally be a networker and how that serves them so well. They're able to meet new people, create collaborations, so they've always got something going, and really there's no time to be lonely. So we wanted to just talk about this a little bit because we believe so strongly in the power of relationship marketing, and relationship marketing starts with building those relationships, which is really networking.
Mhm. And, I think that in the beginning, like when you're first starting out in your business, kind of those first year or two, you're just so busy doing like everything, learning and whatnot, maybe you don't feel it. But I know that back when I first started, um, in my entrepreneurial journey, that's how it was for me. Like I was just so excited to be doing it that I didn't have time to feel lonely or whatever. But I noticed that over time, even though I had communities to go to, on social media, I had an online business. I still kind of had that sense of, okay, yes, I can talk to people, but I'm still doing this alone. Like it's still, having conversations with myself about what's the way to go. Should I do this? Should I do this? And when you get into these relationships, they can be all different kinds of relationships. And you definitely want, communities of like minded people surrounding you. But really to pinpoint those people that you resonate with and are kind of on that same journey you are, and you have some similar goals, it's really helpful to build that kind of a more intimate relationship. And then to kind of share the load, because I think that's one of the big things, Carmen, is that there's so much to do, right? And so it's
Mhm.
so easy to get into overwhelm.
Yeah. I like that you said and how in the beginning, you were so excited just to be doing it. I think that's such a good point. And I think maybe that's where the loneliness sneaks up on people, because in the beginning, you are just excited. You're chasing your dream and you're doing what you want to do. And so you're just into it. And then one day you wake up and you realize that, yeah, it's all you. And that can feel really lonely. Uh, and I think that what you're talking about is exactly right. And, I guess what I want to do is give tips to people who maybe don't feel like they are natural networkers. And for instance, I think in the beginning, I mean, I know I'm introverted and I have learned to come out of my shell and learned how to navigate that a little bit. And I think there's an element where people do need to just push through the fear in the beginning, because fear comes up all the time for different reasons. And you've got to learn how to overcome it anyway as an entrepreneur in so many different facets. But also it's a matter of practice, and I think when you're talking about finding people you resonate with and nurturing that relationship, that's right. So how would you do it if you met someone, at school or on a job or, at a club of some sort, a book club or whatever? You would, ask questions about them and put the focus on learning more about them. And then really the focus isn't on you. So it kind of takes the edge off, or you don't feel like you're under the magnifying glass, maybe.
Hmm. Yeah. And, it's, I think one of the things that, I don't know if I'd call myself a full introvert, but I definitely have introvert tendencies. And part of that was that I decided that I was going to be the kind of person that met people and built relationships. And I think part that can help offset. Now, it may not change your complete nature, but when you get in this idea of I'm here to give value to people, and like you said, Carmen, focus on them. How can I help? Like that's the thing I'm asking myself constantly. How can I help? And when you're focused on that, then the nervousness goes away, because really you're just thinking, how can I help this person? And you get all these ideas. And when you start talking, and people are attracted to that, and pretty
Yeah.
soon they're seeking you out. And I think that helps a lot in, getting over that fear of, what, because we all think, oh, do they even want to talk to me? you know,
Yeah.
and if you're helping them, then of course they're going to want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And then it's also fun when you start the more networking events. So we both go to um intentional networking events that are set up online to network. Uh and I've been to the ones in person as well. And it would be interesting to go to an in-person one now, but most of the stuff we do is online. But the more you go, and if you're doing it correctly, like we have, when people join our Facebook group, we have a free thank you gift, which is network like a pro, the 6 things that successful networkers do without fail. So when you follow those 6 steps, you're set up. And part of that is keeping notes, right? And I'll let you explain your process, because I love what you say about when you're done with any kind of a meeting or a networking event, how you take those few minutes afterwards. So I'll let you just explain that. But when you do that and you follow these systems that we're going to explain here, then you have like a database of people who do X, Y, and Z. And when you meet someone who needs someone who does X, Y, and Z, you're able to connect. And so even if it's, when you're asking yourself, like you're saying, how can I help someone? Sometimes it's just as simple as an introduction. And maybe that introduction is like the catalyst that helps someone's business just take off. So it's so cool to be that connector or that provider of value.
Yeah, and in fact, that I was able to do that just this past week, from 2 ladies that I actually, one lady I'd met in a networking event, and I just ask questions like you said, Carmen, and get to know people, and then I take these notes, and I after every event, after every connection call that I set up, I always have a buffer of 10 minutes after the fact. And in that 10 minutes, like I might be typing notes as we're talking, but you have to, sometimes it's cryptic, right? If you go back 3 days from now, you're like, what was I even talking about? So I take that 10 minutes and then I review the notes because it's fresh in your mind. And before you jump off to the next thing and kind of forget, it's really hard to come back. Plus, when you say, I'll do it later, later never happens, right? There is no such thing as that. So I just take that and I fill in the gaps. And then I always put my next action step. Like, what is the next thing that I want to do? And I schedule it. Now, you can do this in whatever way works for you. It can be a notebook. It can be as, simple as a notebook pad, or it could be on your Google Calendar. A spreadsheet works really great. You can scale up into a CRM, but not what you're using isn't as important as the fact that you um, can remember what you talked about, what they do, and who they help. And if you know those 2 things, then you're going to be able to connect. And then I always have like keywords, like, whatever it is that they do. If they're, a money mindset coach, or they're a graphic designer, whatever that is. So then I can go search. You can do this harder in a notebook, but you can do it in a spreadsheet. Then I can search for that. If somebody says, you know what, I've got, I'm looking for someone who can do this for me, I can go search real quick, pull that person out and connect the two. And like I said, I was able to do that with someone who I had 2 connections, but one of those had a client she was working with who needed somebody. So I was able to do, put those 2 together. And now I've got a new contact. I've got a new person I hadn't met before that was referred to me. So now we can build that relationship as well. And, I've heard from people in the past that they remember things from a year ago. Okay.
Mhm.
If I gave them some advice or connected them with someone, they're like, that thing you did last year, that was great. So it really helps you build this long-term base of people that can either be your clients, they could be your customers, or they can refer people to you, or you guys can work together on a project. Like, if in this, not only is it the loneliness factor, but this is like how you can scale your visibility, your influence, your business in a way that it's leveraging the help of other people. And it reminds me of, how they used to have the barn raising days, right? Back in the
Mhm.
day, where everybody would come together. And it's the same thing. That's what communities are for.
Yeah.
They are, or good communities anyway. And that's why we have our community in the Facebook group. We are always encouraging everyone to put this into part of their business. It's just how you do business. And it's so smart, and it's a way to get you to success a whole lot faster and a whole lot easier.
Yeah, and then in our Facebook group, we provide weekly live learning, we call it, either from us directly or we will have guest speakers. And then once a month, we do speed networking because we believe so strongly in this networking component that we want to facilitate that. And so, why do we believe in it so strongly? Because when you find someone that you can collaborate with, someone who maybe serves your same audience in a different way, you guys can create an event. And events are so powerful because both of your audiences, the audience members, get so excited because it's an event. We like to say events are like parties. Who doesn't want to go to a party? And so when you find the right collaboration people and partners, then you can create some small events and you can create large events. Like we have hosted summits, and we host 2 summits a year now. And we're able to do that because through all of this networking, we run across the most amazing people, and we want to showcase what they're bringing out into the world, which not only does it make us feel good to showcase them, but it provides value for the audience that comes to see who is speaking. So it's just a win-win situation. And that's kind of what the whole thing's about in our mind. And then we see with our clients who really have an affinity for it that they don't feel that loneliness because they're so busy creating these fun events with a bunch of new people, and they're just working it, and working it, not meaning it in a negative connotation, but in a fun way, because it's fun to have. I'm going to do this in November. I'm going to do this in February. Like you've always got something to look forward to. It's super important.
Yeah, so we'd love for you to join us inside the Empire of Unstoppable Women Facebook group. You can learn more about this. As Carmen mentioned, we have a free gift for you. It's networking like a pro. So if this is an area that, maybe you've sort of done it, but not really gotten into it, or you just simply want to sharpen your skills and take it up to the next level, that download that you're going to get is going to be super helpful. It's going to give you really valuable tips on how to really take this up a notch, and then come and practice with us. We have our group is about quality over quantity. So we're not out there trying to get 10,000 people to join our group. We really want the right people in the group because we're building real relationships with one another. And that's what the speed networking is all about. It's your opportunity to get to know others on a smaller, more intimate scale and really get the quality out of it, and to find the people that you really resonate with.
That's right. So we'll see you in the group.